Okay, here we are coming to the very end of the ojo. We're wrapping around the little bits, which hopefully we've left even 2 or 3 times. For security, we're leaving just a little bit of the stick pointing out beyond where the yarn is, down to the very end here. And the last one, I use something like this to weight the ojo when I want to hold it in place. The very last one we start doing like simple knots as we wrap around. Just every time we go around we loop in underneath, and I've purposely left this bottom one to be a little bit longer than the rest. Okay, I think 3 is enough. And I'll go one more. No, 3 is enough. We can do one more from this side. And when I end, the tail ends up kind of right next to, I've done it ideally right next to where we tuck it down underneath that stick there. The stick meets the border. Tap it in with something. Check that that's not showing through. And here we basically have our finished ojo de Dios. Now this design is a good one because it leaves lots of space here, yet you can get creative in making some fancy needlework you want to make of your own. In this case we're leaving it as is with a more plain border, but I really love needlework. Recommend you experiment, be creative. Now we've got to loop on for hanging. Usually what's going to be the bottom is going to have all these knots, but I switched here. You can see this blue is a little bit thicker here than there. I switched top and bottom, not on purpose, but that's what happened. Don't think it's going to look too bad. Now often to make the loop, I'll thread in, going way back here to the original back side of the dagger pattern. Thread in through there with my yarn needle, with the loop, go underneath other parts of the pattern, come out something like here. In this case though, I believe it's going to work better if I just go underneath this part of the pattern. Make sure it's not twisted. I'm not under any of this. Come back through the loop like so. Underneath here. I'll check and see that this part, the oil's going to hang straight. This part should be very evenly lined up with the stick that it's parallels here. Ideally it's going to hang, so this is a little ways out from here and parallel to it. And then the whole ojo, this part will hit the wall, this part here, the very middle will hit the wall, and all the sticks will be equal distant out from the wall. Or perhaps the top part will tilt out a little. Different designs, you just experiment and see what works. And once you hang it on the wall, you may have to jerk a little bit this way or that to get it to be perfectly level up and down. So this stick is straight up and down, this is perfectly horizontal. And I also experiment with different kinds of hooks. I keep a regular collection here, and if I do it, if I get it really perfecto, just a simple, or maybe a little bit bigger push pin in the wall will just hang it perfectly. One thing left, that's the glue. I used a simple white school glue, very cheap, dries clear. All you really need is a little bit on the very ends. Sometimes though, I'll go ahead and glue down the stick some more. Do that here. Get a little more globby as I reach the end, because I'm going to also using my finger to get some glue around to the front of the yoho. Really, really feel secure about holding that final wrap around the stick in place. Once we get all this glue on here, we're going to use our fingers to smush it into the yarn real good. Like so. Just tap it in. This also helps it to dry faster. And with that little bit of yarn that's left on my fingers from tapping it in, I'll get a little bit of yarn, get a little bit of glue around to the front and on the sides maybe. And the final stage will be to turn it over, make sure I haven't got too much glue on the front. Now some people think that it's somehow distracts from the oho to use glue, and often if I'm making it for myself, I don't use glue. Of course, you can unwind it if you haven't glued it into place. But if I'm shipping an oho somewhere, I want it to be really secure. And I don't think anybody's going to be unwinding this to use the yarn to make socks or something. Hopefully not. So there we have it. One totally finished yarn mandala. The new modern wave of ojos de Dios making. See a little extra glue there, we just tamp it down so when it dries it's not going to distract or it's not going to draw attention to the little final end of the ojo. That's it. Remember, when you're making these, have fun, enjoy it, be happy. If you're not being happy, you're frustrated, stop and figure out what you're doing wrong, what isn't flowing evenly, and making some symmetry, a kind of perfection that makes for a really, really nice ojos de Dios.